Welcome to Planet Classroom. I am Orb, your virtual guide on a journey of global learning called Planet Classroom. You will hear stories from artists, musicians, dancers, technologists, game makers, filmmakers, innovators, and creators of all kinds from around the world. It's time to engage our imaginations, share our ideas, and explore solutions for a brighter future for all. Our planet is a classroom where learning together brings us together.
Listen to the sound of my voice. Can you feel the beat of my heart? Listen to the questions I have. Listen to me.
My dad's song, Give Us Hope, was originally created on September 11th to bring people around the world together. I think it is a powerful message of hope, one that calls for a better future for all of us, and specifically my generation. We want to believe in a better world to come.
That was Jim Papoulis talking about his father's song, Give Us Hope, performed by the Young People's Chorus of New York City as seen on the Planet Classroom Network this month. Today on Planet Classroom, we are talking about the most important lessons the world learned during COVID-19.
I'm Stefania Giannini, and I am on Planet Classroom. Well, I think that the most important lesson we learned is about our own fragility as a humankind. Of course, fragility means not being ready to address such a global challenge and a crisis which has, from the beginning, hit the lives, the well-being. Almost overnight, we can say that education went remote. And this is a huge, unprecedented situation in history. I'm sure you remember some of the numbers that UNESCO put on the screen for the beginning of the crisis, March this year. 1.6 billion students from the early childhood to university level out of school because of the pandemic. Teachers has been the frontline workers in this crisis. The main heroes, let me say simply like this, of this crisis have been teachers in the classroom, teachers who have been responsible of maintaining bond with their students and help them learn in a different way.
Planet Classroom is talking to Stefania Giannini, Assistant Director General for Education of UNESCO, about lessons learned from COVID-19. How can art and culture be used to create positive change?
First of all, I think that integrating cultural heritage and the arts into education is the way, is the gateway to appreciate the richness of our cultural diversity. I see thousands of young people, volunteers, who discovered, for instance, through some good, successful UNESCO's program on cultural heritage and artistic education, acting to counter discrimination, to fight against prejudice and violence, and promoting, on the other side, dialogue. It's also very much about the role of identity, the sense of belonging to a community. I was glad to read that some of the world's finest cultural organizations are participating and have licensed their content to Planet Classroom. So this is about open knowledge sharing and that we need across all disciplines. We felt that we are together within this crisis. We are on the same boat. When we discover that we are so fragile, so vulnerable, and we have as a solution a new kind of global solidarity.
Thank you, Stefania. Let's go now to Nikos in Greece.
The COVID-19 pandemic is one of the most dangerous challenges this world has faced in our lifetime. In this way, we must be on the front lines, supporting our societies. Guidance, training, equipment, and concrete life-saving services are the best keys to fight the virus. Now is a time for unity, for the international community to work together in solidarity to stop this virus and its shattering consequences.
Welcome, Anant Gokal. You are on Planet Classroom.
The most important lesson that I learned during COVID-19 was to value what I have. I live in New Delhi, India, and during COVID-19 lockdown from March to May, my city experienced quite a few earthquake tremors, some of which were accompanied by strange loud noises. I was usually indoors due to the pandemic restrictions, and during one such tremor, we all ran outdoors. This is when my brother remarked, "बाहर जाओ तो कोरोना का डर, अंदर रहो तो earthquake का डर, आखिर करें भी तो क्या?" Which means if you step outside, there's fear of corona. If you stay indoors, there's fear of earthquake. What should we do? This made me realize that calamity can strike at any time. So value what you have and be grateful and enjoy the beauty of the moment.
We certainly have many ideas to share with you today. Planet Classroom welcomes Lenin Alexis Romo from the United States.
It's been a dark year for the world, and sometimes it even seems like the light at the end of the tunnel is slowly dimming or getting further and further away from us. Still, there have definitely been a few moments where that light has actually appeared to brighten and come closer. One of those moments being when I found out that blood donations were still able to be made during this pandemic from an email that I received from Vitalent a while ago. Seeing this, and even watching individuals like my uncle go in to donate blood, displayed just how this community was able to still come together during this global crisis and help out those in need of these donations. At some point during the next few months, I also want to schedule an appointment and make a donation to support this good cause.
We are talking about lessons learned from COVID-19. What did we learn about unity? Alicia Gonzalez from Texas. You are on Planet Classroom.
Yes, I do believe the world learned the importance of unity from COVID-19 because we have all stayed at home to stop the spread of COVID-19. I am an active volunteer at Abundant Living Faith Center, which recently collaborated with Fighting Hunger El Paso. You might be asking, what do you all do? Well, all volunteers come together to make and fill boxes with food supplies and toys during the holidays. Once we have reached a certain number of boxes, we get sent out to different stations. Each station has everything a healthy plate should look like: dairy, vegetables, whole grains, fruits, and healthy protein.
3/4 around the world say their country's society is divided. We are talking about lessons learned from COVID-19. Clayton Picard from New York. You are on Planet Classroom.
I don't think the world learned any profound lesson about race from COVID-19. We just realized that the government continues to put initiative on its elite figures and on the higher income areas of the country, while the lower income communities are left to fend for themselves with no sustained aid from the government.
How do we come together as one world? Sophia from California. You are on Planet Classroom.
In terms of unity, COVID-19 has brought a lot of people together, fighting for common goals, and I think that's so beautiful and powerful.
Yes, I think the world has learned an important lesson about unity from COVID, and I think we're still learning that lesson. At the beginning in Malawi, people were very reluctant because of the fake news that had been spread that people in Africa couldn't get COVID. And it wasn't until people started dying that people realized how serious the issue was. NGOs and the government started working together, deploying people to rural areas and forcing people to be wearing masks. Because of this, we're very lucky that the COVID pandemic has not affected us as badly as people thought it would.
That was Mufukira from Malawi on Planet Classroom. Let's hear from Maynard in the same country.
I would say no, because in our community, not everybody was out to talk about issues or how we can prevent from getting COVID-19. Instead, we could get WhatsApp messages or Facebook messages or posters. Everybody else is in their homes, and if we all go out, then people are wearing masks. The only awareness was that you should have to wear masks when entering into shops, make sure you have hand sanitizer, prevent contact with other people and all that. But otherwise, coming together as a community and sitting down to talk about the issues or how to tackle COVID-19, then no, it didn't happen.
We are going to Kyrgyzstan to hear from Alina Koshmatova.
COVID-19 has brought very significant changes to our lives, and we all have learned an important lesson for ourselves. When the school closed, I was glad that finally I would have more opportunity to do my favorite things. However, that wasn't the case. After watching and reading more and more about coronavirus, it became scary. It became scary for all people, for their health and for their lives. My country's government wasn't prepared for such a difficult change. Young volunteers started to provide help to the doctors and thus saved the lives of many people in my city. We lost a lot of strong, talented and wonderful people due to pandemic, which is very sad. It means that all of us should continue fighting and protecting ourselves and our loved ones.
Brianna from Georgia, you are on Planet Classroom.
Political tensions were high for the general election as well as for the runoff elections occurring across the United States. The entire country had its eyes on Georgia. I believe that this put much pressure on people to get out and vote. I felt immense pride and joy seeing the amount of young people who voted, many for the first time. For me, it was especially great seeing young Black people rise to the occasion and perform their civic duty. It gave me hope for the future. COVID-19 has united people from all backgrounds to acknowledge that having affordable health care for everyone is essential. The platform of unity and affordable health care is what the newly elected senators of Georgia hope to accomplish, and I look forward to seeing the change they implement.
Give us hope, my voice is calling, can you see? Look in my eyes, can you feel? My hand is reaching, give us hope and we'll show you the way.
Planet Classroom is featuring the re-recorded version of Give Us Hope. This recording was done remotely by the Young People's Chorus of New York City to support people during COVID-19. I think the new version captures the message that we learn a lot of things about each other and ourselves in difficult times. It's reassuring, it's inspiring, it reminds us that hope will always triumph.
Give us hope, my voice is calling, can you see? Look in my eyes, can you feel? My hand is reaching, give us hope and we'll show you the way. Show you the way, show you the way.
That's all, my human friends, for this week. I leave you with a reminder to explore your world, express yourself, discover, create, and use your imagination. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.